Hey there and welcome to Scandal Steep. Toni Braxton and Birdman, two names that individually command attention, have found themselves wrapped in a whirlwind of confusion, secrets, and speculation. For years, fans wondered if their bond ran deeper than friendship. Whenever the rumors would spark, Toni brushed them off with a laugh or a clever dodge, never confirming, always keeping people guessing. But now, it turns out the truth was far more intriguing than anyone imagined. The two quietly tied the knot. No paparazzi, no red carpet, no clue. The wedding happened on August 8, 2024, and was kept so under wraps that even the most devoted fans had no idea. There were no social media hints, no press coverage, and no carefully curated Instagram posts. In a world where celebrities often publicize every life milestone, their complete silence felt like a mystery in itself. No bridal gown photos, no buzz about celebrity guests or lavish receptions. Just two high-profile stars doing something completely unexpected, keeping it private. But just as everyone started to digest that shock, things took an even stranger turn. Within 48 hours of the wedding, Toni filed for divorce. Yes, you read that right. 2 days later, she filed paperwork stating the marriage was beyond repair. The ink on their marriage certificate likely hadn't even dried before the dissolution process began. The legal language in the court documents described the relationship as irretrievably broken, the kind of language meant to leave no room for questions. But ironically, it only raised more. Fans went into a frenzy. Was it a legal mix-up? A publicity stunt? Or had something gone horribly wrong behind closed doors? Initially, the story felt so bizarre that many assumed it was fake, just more tabloid fluff. But the documents were real. The marriage happened, and so did the divorce filing. That alone would have kept social media buzzing for weeks. But then came the twist no one saw coming. In January 2025, 5 months after the hasty filing, Toni quietly withdrew the divorce papers again with no statement or explanation. She didn't post about it, didn't comment, didn't offer the slightest clue. Just like that, the legal move vanished from the records. So where does that leave things? Technically, Toni and Birdman are still married. But emotionally or practically? It's hard to say. They haven't been seen in public together. They don't appear on each other's social media. Toni's been photographed numerous times without a ring, no wedding band, no symbolic jewelry, not even a whisper of marital commitment. The silence is deafening, and fans can't help but speculate. Did they patch things up privately? Did she change her mind? Or did something happen behind the scenes that caused her to rethink her legal strategy without fully returning to the marriage? To many, it feels like the wedding was real only for a moment, then suddenly, inexplicably, it evaporated. A few people suggest Toni might have been trying to protect herself in some way, whether emotionally, financially, or legally. Others whisper that something must have happened right after the vows were exchanged, something that made her want to pull back fast. Then there's Birdman himself, a man who's no stranger to controversy and rumors. Some of the baggage he carries may have factored into Toni's sudden change of heart. One of the most peculiar and talked about elements of Birdman's life involves his close relationship with Lil Wayne. They first crossed paths back in 1991 when Lil Wayne was just 8 years old. Over the years, Birdman took the young rapper under his wing, guiding him through the industry and eventually signing him to his label. That mentorship blossomed into something more intense, a bond that Birdman often described as father-son, though the public didn't always interpret it that way. The two became so close that Birdman was often referred to as Wayne's daddy. But eyebrows were raised when, in the early 2000s, video clips surfaced of the two kissing on the lips not once, but multiple times. It first happened publicly on Bet's Rap City in 2002, and again on 106 and Park. When questioned about it later, Birdman dismissed the scandal, explaining it wasn't freaky, just their way of expressing love. On Revolt's Big Facts podcast, Birdman opened up, saying he feared for his life back in the day and kissed Wayne because he never knew if he'd make it home alive. "I always looked at Wayne as my son," he said. "I was in the streets, and I thought this might be the last time they ever see me." 50 Cent even chimed in on the controversy in his own way through music, of course. Rather than address it directly in interviews, the rapper made reference to Birdman and Wayne's relationship in his track Part-Time Lover, delivering his commentary with signature shade. As time passed, more voices chimed in to confirm the kissing was real and not unusual within their crew. Former Hot Boys member Turk once said it was common practice among the Cash Money family. On Vlad TV, he explained that it was more of a show of loyalty than romance, likening it to old-school mafia traditions. He admitted he wouldn't kiss his own son on the lips now, but back then, it was about proving love and loyalty to your brothers, often right in front of women or others. In his words, "We were young, and that's just how we showed love. It's not about being gay or anything like that, it was about the bond." But regardless of intentions, for the outside world, the optics were strange. And for someone like Toni Braxton, who's built her career on poise and elegance, it's not hard to imagine how the backlash from Birdman's past might have made her second-guess things. Or perhaps it wasn't about optics at all. Maybe something deeper happened that caused her to retreat. The timing of the wedding and the swift divorce filing suggests a serious red flag went up. What it was, no one knows.